Hey guys, it's Ryan with My Listing Club. In this video, I wanted to talk to you about staging environments, staging sites, development sites. Um, Lots of terminology can be used interchangeably for this, but I like to refer to them as staging environments. So really quickly, what are these? Simply put, these are clones, they're copies, they're duplicates of your live website. So that's pretty much all you need to know about that. And a question I often get asked is, when is the right time? When do I need one of these? Okay, and my answer is almost immediately when you start building your website. You should fire up a staging site, and the reason for that is when you're testing out plugins, you're not 100% sure all the time, like if this is a plugin that you're going to stick with. So rather than installing all of these random plugins on your live website that you may later remove, it's better to test them in staging first to keep your database clean, because when you install plugins and then you later remove them, they don't always clean up after themselves, so to speak. They can leave residual data in your database and even slow down your website, because some of the stuff they leave behind actually runs on when your pages load. So it's really important to try to keep that stuff on staging until you're pretty sure that this is a solution that you're ready to put on your live website. Another reason for this is support. So let's say that you install a plugin or you need help from the MyListing developers. It's better to give them access to your staging site rather than your production site. I have had situations in the past where a developer had gotten into a production site and really messed things up, and then later wasn't willing to fess up that they were the ones that messed it up. So it can create a really sticky situation between you and the vendor, and you just don't want that. So oftentimes you'll even see that vendors will just request by default, give me access to staging. They don't even want access to your live website, and that's for liability reasons. That's for good reasons. So in short, just fire one up immediately if you can, to do your plugin testing, to give access to support or the MyListing developers, or somebody else that you hire to develop your site or something like that. What else? If you want to test like PHP versions first before rolling them out, you can do that. I'm going to show you on Kinsta here, which is where I host all my sites, and all my everybody that's covered under my care plan is hosted there. I'm going to show you just how easy it is to work with the staging sites. So the PHP issue isn't so much of a thing on Kinsta, but if you're on another host where it's a little bit more of a pain to upgrade, downgrade your PHP version, might want to think about that. But those are the main reasons that for having a staging site right away. Another question I often get asked is, what do I do in staging? Like, do I also work in that side? Do I only work in production? And my answer to that is test in staging. So if you're going to test a plugin or whatever, a setting even, test it in staging. And if you like it, just jump over to your live website and just make that change. Don't concern yourself with, I need to push staging to live, and am I going to overwrite stuff? Should I overwrite just the database? Should I just overwrite the content? Should I overwrite both? I don't get get involved in all of that game. It's too easy to just test in staging and then replicate it in live. Okay, that's how I do it. That's what I personally recommend. You can do, depending on what staging you're using, whether it's Kinsta or a plugin that does staging or another hosting provider or whatever. There's different levels of granularity into what you can push from staging to live and vice versa. So definitely you might want to look at that. But again, my recommendation, don't worry about that stuff. Just replicate what you do in staging and do it in live. Okay, so enough chat about that. Before we actually look at staging on Kinsta, I just wanted to remind you that on the club website, I have a really steep discount for Kinsta. If you want to join us on that plan, there's well over 100 people on that plan at this point. It's enterprise level Kinsta for less than the price of what you'll pay for just their entry level plan. And you need their enterprise level plan if you have a MyListing site, because it's got a heavy theme, it's got WooCommerce, and it's got Elementor. Those are really heavy things before you even start adding other stuff. So you really need the enterprise level. Okay. On another note too, if you go to the MyListing Club YouTube channel and you do a search for database, which I've already done here, you'll see a video here, how to clean up your MyListing website database for better performance. If you find that you've installed a few plugins and you've later removed them, this video walks you through how to easily clean up your database and find out what's left behind. I highly recommend, which is covered in the video, I believe, is to take a backup before you follow this video. Okay, but no plugin or anything's required. And if you're with Kinsta, it's super easy. It's all built into the dashboard. So definitely check that out. Okay, so enough of all that. Let's close down these tabs here, and here we're looking at the back end of a website, just a clean website, and I'm building out this site. This is a hypothetical site. There's nothing on there. It's just bare bones, my listing with the theme installed. As you can see, there's just nothing's been done to it. So this is a hypothetical situation. You're just starting building out your MyListing website. You're back here in the dashboard. Let's see, we've got a few core plugins in here. Yeah, these are some of the 4 core that I start with any MyListing website. And there's a few other core plugins, but that's besides the point. Anyway, so you're here and you're like, okay, now I need to do, I don't know, I'm trying to think of something that would be events. So maybe I want to go and do the events calendar. And if you've ever messed with the events calendar plugin, you've probably found out that you need, I mean, it's a lot of like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've seen 9, 10 plugins just to get that, all of the features working for that. So rather than installing all of those on production, just right away fire up that staging website. It's a clone of your live website. You don't have to recreate everything. Install all of those plugins, test everything. If it works, great. Put all those plugins on production and off you go. All right. So that is that. So now let's look at Kinsta. So this is what your Kinsta dashboard is going to look like. Assuming they don't change the dashboard again here in the near future. They just went through a bit of a refresh. For those of you on Kinsta, you may have noticed that, but it's really simple. So up here at the top, we see MyListing Sandbox. That's the name of this website. And we see this green dot, which means it's live. So all we do is click that drop down, create new environment, and then click standard environment, the free one. Okay, give it a name. We'll just call it staging. Create environment. We've got it. We've given it a name. Environment to clone. We're just going to click that and choose live. Okay. Now you do have options here. You can install, if you don't want to clone, you can install new WordPress and that sort of thing. But we're just cloning the live website here. Click create environment. Up here we see this, there's really no indication here. This is probably something that they could make a little bit better, but if we go up here to live and then to staging, we see that it's spinning up. Okay, that's really all there is to it, folks. It's just that simple to create a staging site. Once this comes up, it's going to look just like your dashboard where it's live, except for you're going to, instead of this big live green button, it's going to tell you that you're working in staging. Yeah, I mean, that's really all there is to it. You're going to get a link here under the domains to log into the WordPress dashboard, just like you would see here under live. You're going to get your WordPress admin link. You work in that sandbox environment, and off you go. Couldn't be easier. The last thing I'll say is Kinsta recently rolled out what they call premium environments. So you can click, you can create a new staging environment. There is a cost with that, but they allow you to create, I think, up to 5 staging environments. So you can really, really test things at a granular level on multiple sites. Okay, I'm going to get off here. I hope this was useful, and take care. Bye-bye.